Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Giants players, past and present, on hand today as the team introduced new head coach John Harbaugh. Said he took the job because he wanted to be on the biggest stage in the biggest sport, knows of the challenges and the expectations. He called his focus a simple one: build a team that's physical, tough, smart, and disciplined, plays the game the way it should be played. Harbaugh's impact on the Giants will be immediate, predicts ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky.
A different culture overnight. You know, the Giants, before they hired Coach Harbaugh, it was a losing culture. It was a losing organization. The minute they hire Coach Harbaugh, it automatically goes to, well, it's now a winning culture. At least the guy that's running the place now is in his blood winning. And then two, the expectations are they'll be competitive next year.
The trespassing charge against Vikings receiver Jordan Addison, stemming from a January 12 visit to a casino in Florida, has been dropped by a Florida state attorney. With the charge dropped, it is unlikely that he faces any discipline from the NFL. Indiana and Ohio State, co-favorites to win next season's college football playoff, each 7-1 at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy. Coming on Wednesday, I'll tell you what's next for the playoff teams that have already been eliminated. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It is AFR. Powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Matt, we are here on site at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Alondra's with us. Moose, Paulie are back in studio, and thank you for hanging out. Today, Guarantee Corporation, our parent company, celebrated its 100th birthday a day ago. And so today, our entire company is spending the entire day here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank as a day of service. So everyone in the company volunteering today here at the food bank. And so we're thrilled to be bringing our entire lineup here from 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge to you from the food bank. So we'll be telling you plenty about the food bank and the great work that they do. So we got a ton to get to. Shay Dixon's here in about 15 minutes from right now. Mason Dosset, LSU safety signee in 1 hour. Aaron Murray next hour. Mike Triplet in hour 3 to talk some Saints. But let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
And so we wait. It has been a fascinating few days to follow the Jordan Seaton saga as it's unfolded. The quick Cliff's Notes catch up, if you're not familiar. Seaton, number 1 offensive tackle in the portal, top 5 overall player in the portal. He was a former 5-star, has been a starting left tackle the last 2 years at Colorado. Just a little more than a week ago, he jumped in the transfer portal and was going to be a high-priced item. He visited Mississippi State. He visited Miami. He showed up at LSU on Sunday. And then there was all this confusion Monday about whether or not he was going to get on a plane and go to Eugene, Oregon for his visit with the Ducks, or if he was going to stay in Baton Rouge and sign with LSU and become a Tiger. Well, as the day transpired yesterday, we learned, and we shared with you during the show, that as we learned it around 4:30 Central Time, that Jordan Seaton still in Baton Rouge. I got that confirmed to me that he was at football ops. Well, if you missed it as the day went along, he actually, and as did Lane Kiffin, dropped a few little Easter eggs about their visit that I want to circle back to in a second. But the latest information is, as of this very moment, as we start the show today, I still do not have official word that this is done. I do believe that everything is trending toward Jordan Seaton being an LSU Tiger. I do believe most of the terms of his deal are agreed to from both sides, and that there are a few contractual things in the language of the contract that are still being sorted out. And that makes things a little cumbersome because, as we said all throughout the courtship of Lane Kiffin, it's never done until it's like done, right? Signed, ink dry, at a podium being introduced. It's similar with these things. You can have terms of a deal agreed to, but until you have a signed agreement, you don't have an agreement. I do very much believe they are going to get this done with Jordan Seaton, but there are some things that they're still working through, and hopefully we do get some finality on that while we're on the air. I want to remind you again, as we've said, Tuesday is the last day to enroll in classes at LSU for the spring semester. So if you are going to be going through spring football, you have to be enrolled in school to be able to go through spring football. Well, today is the last day to enroll in classes to be available for the spring semester. So hopefully that is all going to be taken care of today, and this whole thing is signed, sealed, delivered, done. Now, I told you that there were a few Easter eggs that I wanted to circle back to. So when we were on air, it was about 4:30 whenever I got word that Jordan Seaton was still at LSU. So he did not leave for Oregon, which we now know. And I know he's still in Baton Rouge today. He and I believe it's his uncle are still in Baton Rouge today. He was on the visit with him. About 5:30 in the afternoon, Seaton posted an Instagram story. And he was in a Louisiana State Police unit, and there was a sort of a police escort with several units. And he took about an 8-second video in the police unit. Well, he posted that at 5:30, but I went all Sherlock Holmes on it, or Matlock, or what would be a good Matlock? But I thought Matlock was an attorney, or is he an investigator? Dick Tracy, or is that a dated reference? What would be a current, Alondra? What would be a current like investigator type pop culture reference? What's an investigative show that's popular now?
I think the only one I can think of is Sherlock Holmes.
Fine.
Matlock.
Matlock.
I don't know another Matlock.
Okay. Sherlock Holmes, Matlock, whatever. I went into that. So I look at the video that Jordan Seaton posted. And if you zoom in on the dash of the squad car of the unit, it was 3:04 p.m. that he took the video. And as he's sort of whipping the video around, you can see very clearly the Pentagon barracks in downtown Baton Rouge. So that's an unmistakable building. It's a beautiful red building. It's probably 200 years old. It's from the Civil War era. The beautiful columns on. I mean, it's an unmistakable building in downtown Baton Rouge, right next to the state capitol, behind which is the governor's mansion. Well, Lane Kiffin, you might have also seen on Monday, posted on his Twitter a photo of his nephew, who they affectionately refer to as Cookie. That's Chris and Angela Kiffin. Chris is Lane's brother. Chris Kiffin's son, Cookie, with Governor Jeff Landry at the governor's mansion. So if you piece this together, Kiffin's photo of Cookie and Jeff Landry at the governor's mansion was at 3:02. 2 minutes later at 3:04 is when Jordan Seaton took the video going by the Pentagon barracks, which would lead with a police escort, which would lead you to believe that he was with Lane Kiffin at the governor's mansion. As you look through this, and as I've made some calls, and look, and I will tell you very, very candidly, I did reach out to Jeff Landry today, and I did reach out to his communications department today because I wanted to get a comment, and I did not get a reply. Understand, like, the governor's running the state, but he doesn't need to worry with me. But I wanted to make sure I had some ducks in a row on this, and I don't confidently enough where I can report anything concrete. But what I will say is, I don't think Lane Kiffin and Jordan Seaton were at the governor's mansion Monday to look at the beautiful tapestries. I think they were there to try to get the governor's help to push this deal across the finish line by maybe making a few phone calls from people who might be able to help with such things. Let's put it to you that way. And I don't have anything further concrete that I'm confident enough to say. But again, I don't think that was a visit just to say, hey, do you want to go look at the very old staircase or the governor's kitchen? That's not why they were there. And if they do, in fact, get this thing across the finish line, as I suspect they will, I do think that Jeff Landry is going to be owed an assist. He might not have drained the three, but he's the guy who brought the ball at the court. Maybe not brought the ball to the court. He's the guy who made the pass to the wing to drain the three. Let's put it to you that way. He gets an assist if they land this, because I do believe his involvement on Monday came at a time where both sides, because my understanding Monday, coming out of Sunday's visit, that Sunday went exceptionally well. The visit to LSU, the dinner at Stabs Prime, it was going exceptionally well. LSU wanted Seaton, Seaton wanted LSU, but there were some financial components of this deal that they needed, that gap they needed to narrow and fill that gap. And I think the governor may well have had a hand in that on Monday. So they get this done with Jordan Seaton, and if I can get some concrete evidence, I'll be more than happy to share with you what I'm able to find out. But again, I think he's probably going to be owed an assist and an attaboy if they get this across the finish line with Seaton, as I suspect they will. So stay tuned for that. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Our show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Y'all, it's carnival time, man. Parades are already starting to roll. We're a few weeks out from Mardi Gras. If you're going to be taking in any of the parades this carnival season, make sure you got that ice chest full of delicious ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, and the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Our Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Let me knock out our first break of the show. We're here at the Baton Rouge Food Bank today, our day of service for Guarantee Corporation, celebrating 100 years. Guarantee's 100th birthday was yesterday, January the 19th. And we're thrilled to mark that milestone and continue our mission of service and giving back here to the greater Baton Rouge community and all the communities that we serve. So we're thrilled to be here at the Food Bank. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, Shay Dixon will be here. Shay has put in a prediction for LSU to land Jordan Seaton. I don't think that that's any type of outlandish claim at this point. I do think that very much is trending in that direction. We'll talk about that with Shay as we continue here. It's AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions. That's our friends over at Glow Resources, Jareth Nakan and the gang. They do awesome work. Basically, if you're a business and you're trying to find a way to be your most efficient self, you need the right people. Glow Resources helps you find those permanent solutions. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Again, complete employer solutions. At Glow Resources, what they do is they help you identify permanent solutions for whatever job you're trying to fill. And they have a 96% success rate in doing just that. And if for whatever reason the employee they find doesn't work out, they will give you a prorated refund, or they will find you another employee absolutely free. So what do you have to lose? Call or go online to glowresources.com. It's GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
When it comes to choosing...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
I'm glad to have you rolling along with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. We are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll have Shay Dixon joining us here in just a quick second. Of course, college football's national championship game was last night. Mostly, well, first of all, congrats to Indiana. And an amazing season, and maybe no greater illustration of what is possible in this era. If we're being completely honest with each other, in a bygone era of college football, there was no possibility ever of Indiana winning a national championship in football. It just was not a thing that was feasible in the way college football was previously constructed, where the best players went to the same handful of schools. Indiana was never going to be competitive in that realm. In this era of transfer portal, of NIL, of revenue share, if you evaluate properly, you allocate your resources properly, you have generous people that are invested in your success, you can build a roster capable of competing for and winning a national championship. And I don't know that I could have thought of any example greater than Indiana winning the national championship. Maybe Vanderbilt, maybe Kansas, maybe Rutgers. But when you think of the worst football programs in the history of the sport we all love, I mean, Indiana is on the short list. They may not be in a class by themselves, but it wouldn't take long to call roll. So, congratulations to Kurt Cignetti, Indiana, for getting this done here and claiming the program's first ever national championship. We'll talk more about that as the day goes along. Shay Dixon, on 3, the Bengal Tiger, joins us every Tuesday. Good enough to join us now. Shady, how are you, man?
Tired. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing really well. Jordan Seaton, you put in a prediction for LSU to land the big offensive lineman from Colorado. What do you know?
Oh, whoa, don't hold me to it. Yes, I did. I just think that all signs point that way right now. Look, he's been on a multi-day visit. What, did it start Saturday, Sunday? But Seaton came into town.
Yeah, Sunday.
We're now into Tuesday, and we've seen reports already surface that a previously planned trip to Oregon doesn't seem to be on tap any longer. I know that Ole Miss had been trying to work to get Seaton to campus. I'm sure a number of teams have, but when you've got a visit like this happening at LSU, it lasts across multiple days. You're sort of going beyond even rolling out the red carpet, and you pair all of that with the reality of what Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock and this staff and the school has done so far on the NIL front, and that relative to the transfer portal and getting big names to get on board. I don't think that it's something to kind of gloss over, kind of, look past right here when you talk about LSU's chances, Matt. I mean, yes, it comes with the high price tag, but so did the number one player in the transfer portal in Sam Levitt. And he is already signed and is here on campus as the presumed QB1, and toss in that they somehow managed to get 5-star Hussein Longstreet to follow him and go from USC to LSU. And just a year ago, he was the number 2 quarterback in the country coming out of high school, 5-stars, stayed home, signed with the Trojans and Lincoln Riley. And now he comes and did that, less than 24, 48 hours after they had added Levitt and after they had added a top transfer in Landon Clark at quarterback. So I just can't kind of bet against anything that Kiffin and company are doing right now. And just the buzz around Baton Rouge, when you toss in that, hey, look, he's no longer going to be up at Oregon, which everyone thought, well, if Phil Knight and company, if they get a chance here, they would be able to put together an NIL package. It would be pretty big. Not making that visit is probably far more notable than my measly pick for prediction for LSU to end up winning out.
Shay, what do you think is the holdup so far? Why this isn't done?
Because he's that big of a prospect. It's no different than high school. I mean, they took it down to the wire in high school, and I think it was a top 5, and he kind of downplayed Colorado to an extent and ended up getting on ESPN and announcing it. So when you look at kind of the lay of the land, I mean, he has a top 5 overall prospect. None of those guys just very quickly went from one school to another. I mean, we can remember Levitt playing out across a full week where Lane got on a flight to go see him in between a trip to Tennessee and Miami. So I just think it's probably one of those recruitments that takes a little bit more legwork than most to get done. And that's my guess as to where they're at right now with whether it's signing or whatever it may be. And I'll say this, Matt, people have asked, well, could he have committed and they're just waiting for him to sign? I don't even know if signed means what I used to think it means because we're seeing a lot of guys who signed right now, maybe most notably Mensa, right? I mean, we know him from his Tulane days, but he's been at Duke and signed and did his LeBron video and all that. And all of a sudden he's transferring to Miami and Duke is going to court to fight it. And so, yeah, I don't even know if signed means what I used to think it means, but I like where LSU's sitting.
Shay Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tigers on Twitter at Shea Dixon. Shay, there's also been a lot of talk about Prince Uman Mellen. Do you have any update, insight, info there?
My update is you did a very good job of that because I studied the pronunciation of his last name a number of times before
I've
I
been
came on today.
looking in the mirror, working on it for days with what feels like an inevitability of Prince Uman Mellen ended up in Baton Rouge.
I just call him Prince Will and try to stop there. But this one has been, to give listeners kind of a quick background, he was a 10-sack guy or maybe 9 or 10 sacks this past year, but is Ole Miss's top D-line edge rusher. And it was almost felt like as there was a wave of guys leaving Ole Miss and as it was very evident that Lane was trying to get guys from Ole Miss to LSU through the portal, that they were going to put their foot down at some point. And, hey, look, put your foot down when the guy with 9 sacks is like, hey, I'm out. And they reports out of Oxford where, look, he signed an NIL deal. We don't plan to put his name into the portal. Well, when he requested that transfer, I don't know. So, for instance, if you did it on Thursday, they have till today at midnight. If you did it on Friday, they have till Wednesday at midnight to enter his name. Or are they planning to fight that? I don't know. But everything that I've heard, which I'm certain you've probably heard the same, is that, and I'll let you speak to kind of how you feel there, is that if he does enter the portal, if they put his name in there, I don't know about all this buyout talk coming out of Oxford and what his NIL contract that he signed or didn't sign looks like, but that down in Baton Rouge, sources are pretty confident. And look, even the Ole Miss people are saying if he ends up leaving Oxford, it will be to join Lane Kiffin at LSU. So I don't have a prediction in, but if he ends up going into the portal, then I think it's very evident that it will wind up being LSU and that whatever red tape paperwork you have to get through LSU has knowledge of and is ready to do so.
You know what's interesting, Shay, is one of the things that I've been told is today, Tuesday, is the final day to enroll in classes for the spring semester. So if a player isn't enrolled by today, then they wouldn't be able to go through spring football. And so with Uman Mellen and maybe to an extent Seaton, like they might just kind of be up against the shot clock here, trying to get these guys done today. So if it does linger past today, could they still end up in a scenario where they still get Uman Mellen, even if he's not available, let's say, to go through spring ball?
Yeah, and I saw I think I looked it up earlier, that the final date for adding courses or making any changes was maybe Thursday. What's today, the 20th? Maybe Thursday. 20th. So whether you or I, either way, right? Like within now or by Thursday, these guys would have to make a decision. And that's starting to be the case kind of across the board, right? Like everybody is in that realm of, hey, look, classes started a week ago or whatever it was. You can only add courses up till this date. Like we'd have to get you in. And these guys aren't graduates. So like a Jaden Daniels was way different. Remember he showed up in like March and it was like, yeah, well, I'm here for half a semester. It was before spring ball, but he had already graduated from Arizona State. So I do think I was talking to Pete Nakos earlier and he said exactly what you said was, look, LSU or anywhere, Ole Miss, like this is the final week, no matter what day it is, to add courses. So there's a feeling that almost all of these guys, unless you've graduated, will have to make that decision in the coming days or today.
A couple more for you, and Shay Dixon's with us on 3 The Bengal Tiger, at Shay Dixon's, where you get him on Twitter, X. They landed, oddly, Shay, well, the portal talk, they landed Jackson Williams over the weekend, a high school safety from Shaw. A bit odd, candidly, just to see another class of 26 high school ad. What can you tell us about Jackson Williams and how this came about?
Yeah, this is a kid, and look, shout out JUCO, which they've added a JUCO lineman over the past couple of weeks, and don't forget about our high school guys. Even in this 2026 class, I'll take it even further, Matt. They had a junior day, or at least a gathering of high school juniors on campus this weekend. So we're sort of spanning it all, but Williams made his official visit. Folks in the New Orleans area who pay attention to prep ball know him probably. Comes out of Shaw. I mean, helped go back-to-back state title appearances, and he had been committed to Washington State and Tulane. It looked like they were going to sign him. Both those schools had staff changes, and it sort of just played out to where, look, LSU still wanted to build on the safety room. They added a number of guys to the portal, and now you've got a kid in Louisiana who's unsigned, coming out of a program like Shaw. He's 6'2", north of 180, and gives you someone who you can develop back there without going into the portal and saying, okay, not only are we spending a high dollar amount, but we're also getting a guy who may be here for a year, a guy who, like Fahim Delane, has only, played 1 year, so he's got a few years left. This is a guy who you bring in straight from the high school kind of crop and start kind of building back, I guess, that room because you did have a number of transfers at DB and safety they did address, but he said, look, Jake Olson and safety's coach and Lane Kiffin had offered him, and he basically told Spiegelman, Sam, who works with us here at Rivals, that he could have just committed on the spot, but wanted to make his official visit, came down with family. They ran him through everything, academics, how he kind of fit into the team. And he felt good about it. So, again, former Tulane commit, when Summerall left for Florida, he had options. Like, he could have gone to the Gators. But when that offer from LSU came, he said it just completely changed things. And they also kind of see him as a versatile piece here. I mean, he's played a lot of spots for Shaw on defense. So whether it's a nickel piece, whether it's a safety piece, you can kind of get him to campus and figure it out. But for me, as someone who's always covered high school recruiting and has been sort of pushed into this portal life, I enjoy seeing them with the late edition for a high school guy out of Louisiana, which, let's not forget, Matt, they've got a really great track record of no matter the coach. I mean, we can go back and do this with Cushenberry, Foster Moore. Like, these guys are NFL players, Russell Gage, and all of them didn't get offered until January and didn't get on board until late.
Great point. Shay, last thing is, are there any other high school, 26 high school targets we could be looking at for February?
He was the last one that I was really paying attention to, Matt. And look, they've also added one, and I think they've already announced him as a signee as well. But oh gosh, why am I blanking on his name?
Amari Williams.
Is that correct? Gosh, are you getting better than me at this?
It's Amari Peterson.
Okay.
There it is.
You just blended together the two guys, Jackson Williams and Amari Peterson.
That's what I did. Hey, but I'm on the right track. I had his first name, and for me, having a defensive back from Florida, 22nd.
With the last name Peterson?
Come on, man. I get a half a point.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, with the last name Peterson, you'll take it. But they added him, who did not sign in the early period coming out of Orlando. Ended up signing, and they've already announced him. So we didn't even have to wait till February signing day for that one. He's an early enrollee, so he's probably on campus as we speak. But Jackson Williams is the last guy I have seen, at least, that is in high school, that is a senior, that got an offer from LSU here recently. So if another one pops up, it'll be a surprise to me. But, hey, so is about everything else Lane Kiffin and the staff have done so far, whether it be the portal or elsewhere.
He's Shay Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Make sure you get it there at Shay Dixon, Twitter, X, all the good stuff in all the places. Thanks, Shay. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, well, I'll do what people tell me. Get some rest, Matt.
I'll do it. We'll see you. That's Shay Dixon. This is After Further Review, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We're at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank today. Our Guarantee Corporation Day of Service started bright and early this morning with Off the Bench. Our entire company, the entire day in shifts, has been volunteering here at the food bank as our way of giving back to celebrate 100 years of serving all these communities, and we're thrilled to be here. Hey, I'm also thrilled to tell you about Rouse's. I was down in Gramercy this morning, dropped off Drew at school, jetted down I-10 to Gramercy, met a lot of listeners, which was awesome. Rouse's had their grand opening today. Told you recently, Rouse's bought 10 new stores, and every week they're rolling out the transition of 2 of those stores. So today was Covington and Gramercy, and so I was able to pop down to Gramercy earlier today. Awesome to be down there with Donnie Rouse, Marcy, Tim, the whole crew from Rouse's, and so many of you as well in Gramercy. Great town, and a lot of loyal listeners, so we're very grateful. Of course, if you're doing your grocery shopping, Rouse's, you need king cakes, Rouse's. Maybe you're hitting the parade route, you need your king cakes, your sandwich, party platter trays, all that sort of stuff. Rouse's has got everything you need. Rouse's.com for the weekly specials. Rouse's, this feels like home. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll go around the SEC. We do have Mason Dosset, LSU signee from Baylor. Has played both safety and wide receiver at Baylor. I'm told he's going to play safety at LSU, but you'll hear it from him 30 minutes from right now. Aaron Murray talking some quarterbacks in about 45 minutes. Mike Triplet talking some Saints in hour 3. Got a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here on AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. You can always go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. It's a great resource. If you want to, you can always talk to an associate if you'd rather start there. Just call 888-8888, 888-8888. You've been in a car wreck, big truck wreck, workers' comp, any type of accident. I know we focus a lot on car wrecks, but it's not just car wrecks. Any type of accident. If you've been injured, 888-8888, 888-8888. Anywhere in Louisiana. They have offices all over the state. Or you can always just log on to the website, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. There's a chat bubble on the homepage where you can be chatting with an associate in just seconds at getgordon.com. Sorry, I snapped. Alondra thought I was snapping. I'm not snapping. I just snapped. Getgordon.com, getgordon.com. And there's also so many resources at the website that you can use. So you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun.
All right, glad you're with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. Big shout out to our friends as always over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Bunkie and below, you want a Deere, one place you're going, it's Sunshine, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. We'll go around the SEC in just a quick second. One very interesting and developing story here is a Duke, which is suing quarterback Darian Mensah, trying to prevent him from going in the transfer portal. And you know what? This just represents, I think, a very interesting paradigm shift. Because if you followed this whole era of NIL, one of the big unknowns was, and I was asked this often. The question would often be posed like this: let's say a player signs an NIL deal or takes money from the collective. This is when the collective was still a thing, when the collective could just, pay for play under the guise of NIL. Well, what happens if the collective pays a player, the player leaves? Well, the collective certainly could go to court, could try to recoup that money. But the question that was so often asked is, do you want to be known as the school that's suing your players to recoup money? If you're that school, why would any player do a deal with you if they want to leave for better opportunity? You're going to sue them. Well, I know there are many instances where players took money from a collective, maybe an upfront payment, ended up going somewhere else, didn't in some instances refund that money, and the collective just said, forget it, because you don't want to go sue a player. Well, now look at what's happening. Xavier Lucas last year tried to leave Wisconsin, left Wisconsin, went to Miami. Wisconsin sued him. Now he played the whole season at Miami. Damon Williams a couple of weeks ago was going to leave Washington. Washington was going to sue him. They were holding him to his contract. Now, it was going to take $4 million to buy out of that contract, and everyone was like, we're good. And now here you have Darian Mensah, where Miami reportedly was going to pay the 7-figure buyout to get Mensah out of that Duke contract and then pay him on top. It was going to cost some, $7-8 million in total to get Darian Mensah. It's incredible, or maybe it was closer to $10 million. An incredible number, but it goes to show you the premium upon which you're willing to pay for an elite quarterback here. So, a judge denied Duke's request for a TRO, a temporary restraining order, that would have prevented him from entering the transfer portal. His attorney's Darren Heitner. That's the same attorney. Remember, that was temporarily representing Damon Williams, who's based out of Miami, and now here you have Darian Mensah, the Duke quarterback, trying to go to Miami. So it's something we'll have to continue to watch to see how all of this plays out. And for what it's worth, Heitner also told ESPN that the judge is a Duke basketball season ticket holder, so a booster, so he recused himself from future proceedings. But he ruled on Mensah's side in this instance. In any event, we'll continue to follow that, how it all plays out. But Miami losing the national championship game a night ago, Carson Beck's out of eligibility. They've took some pretty big swings. Interestingly enough, right, they've taken some pretty big swings in this transfer portal and come up empty. I mean, LSU beat them out for Sam Leavitt. When you look at the other big names in the transfer portal, they've yet to land a quarterback, so they don't have an option next year, which we talked about all last week. Late in the portal cycle, this is what the market is doing. It certainly worked for Jordan Seaton. Late in the portal cycle, where there's a demand and a limited supply, the price goes up. Same here for Darian Mensah, where Miami's willing to pay a 7-figure buyout and give Mensah a giant contract. So we'll see, and we'll follow this as it plays out. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Had a great meeting yesterday with my partners over at Parrish Construction and Roofing. And one thing that I really want to emphasize is, like when we talk about River City's 1 Hour Air, I always mention the seasonal maintenance, how it's so important to get your AC checked before the warm weather and your heater checked before the cold weather. Before storm season is when it's so important to get your roof checked. Because you may have issues you're not aware of. And so when we start having those April showers, then, you may end up having water intrusion, which, man, then you're talking about potential mold in your attic or in your walls, and mildew, and then you're cutting sheetrock and you damage interior contacts. It's a giant mess. So it's why now is a great time, is the best time to get your roof inspected. By the way, it's totally free. A roof inspection is free. If anybody tries to charge you for a roof inspection, run the other way. But our expert inspectors will get on your roof. They'll walk it, mark it, chalk it, clean it. We do all that stuff. We offer soft wash as well. Like, maybe you don't need a replacement. Maybe you have small repairs that can be done. Maybe just a soft wash to get that mildew off, beautify your roof. Like, we offer all of those services. We'd love to give you that free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Go to parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Hit it around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee is finalizing a deal to hire Indiana's Director of Athletic Performance, Derek Owings, fresh off of winning the national championship with the Hoosiers on Monday night. He will be the Vols' new lead strength and conditioning coach. Matt Zennett's the first to report that on Tuesday morning. Owings has a tie to Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel, was on his staff in 2018 at UCF. Zennett's also reported that Owings will make $1.2 million at Tennessee, making him the highest-paid strength and conditioning coach in college football history. 6 seasons at James Madison and Indiana under Curt Cignetti.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Kirby Smart has named Phil Rosher as Georgia's offensive line coach. That news came Tuesday. Smart promoted him to an on-the-field assistant coach after he spent this past season as an off-the-field. Stacey Searles, who was previously the Georgia O-line coach, will remain on staff as an offensive analyst. This is the first staff change for Georgia in the last 2 seasons. Rosher joined the Bulldogs as an analyst last spring after 3 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Missouri Tigers.
Missouri has added a starting cornerback from a semifinal team. That's Ole Miss transfer Chris Graves, 6', 185-pounder, played in 15 games with 9 starts in 2025 for the Rebs, 33 tackles, 4 PBUs, and a forced fumbled. He is immediately Missouri's most experienced cornerback entering spring ball with over 1,000 career snaps.
The Auburn Tigers.
And Auburn has added a MAC offensive lineman. This is Kenneth McManus IV from Akron, 6'2", 320 pounds, 505 snaps a season ago for the Zips, allowing just 1 sack. He becomes portal edition number 8 on the offensive line for Alex Golish and the Auburn Tigers. There you have it. That is around the SEC.
We are here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, our day of service for Guarantee Corporation, celebrating 100 years, and just thrilled to be here to our entire company throughout the day. Everyone through our entire company volunteered in shifts, and we spent the whole day here from the moment they opened, actually before that, with Off the Bench getting fired up at 7 a.m., all the way through here, which I think they're closed now. It's got a little quiet behind us, but we're thrilled to be here and help support the mission of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Mason Dosset, LSU safety signee from Baylor in 15 minutes. He'll be here with us. And if you missed it, Lane Kiffin spoke today at the Baton Rouge Business Report's leadership breakfast this morning. And I want to let you hear, we'll sprinkle some of this throughout the show today of what Lane Kiffin had to say. It's the first time Lane Kiffin has made public comments, other than Twitter, since he's been hired. I mean, he did his introductory press conference, and since then it has been zero. I mean, he is very active on social media, but has not made a public appearance, has not gone on McAfee, has done nothing until today. And so big hat tip to Julio Malera for getting Coach Kiffin there and hearing these comments. So we'll sprinkle some of that throughout the show today. We'll look forward to that. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 1 from the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. We are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. You know, Watermark Baton Rouge is something I really want to emphasize for so many reasons. Watermark, beautiful property, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property, voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. It's the original high-rise building in downtown Baton Rouge, just celebrated its 100th anniversary. The building is 100 years old. They just celebrated that anniversary in October. And it's so beautiful how they've maintained much of the historical integrity of the building while modernizing. Now, look, Carnival season's here. You're going to have downtown parades coming up. Why not plan to make a full day or days of those downtown parades? Get a room at Watermark, stay there, walking distance on the parade route for things like Spanish Town and other parades in downtown Baton Rouge. And it's also so convenient for restaurants and bars and shops and everything in the sites in downtown. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they're telling me, and they keep me right.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
My father, J.B. Faugu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Faugu.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15%.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
And a big cold jug of sweet tea.
Here's the snap, and this time they're just going to go down to the ground, and that will do it. And the rags to riches story for Indiana football comes to conclusion, and they are the national champions of 2026. What a football team!
The Indiana Sports Radio Network with the call there. The Hoosiers are college football's national champion. The most improbable story. I don't love hyperbole. You listen to or watch the show. I say this often. I don't love saying the greatest this, the worst that. It's just context matters in life. This is the most improbable story we've ever seen in college football. I mean, like maybe back in like 1865, there was a guy like Jimmy Johnny Seed with a nickname like that who was at Directional School U. We don't know that, was a cattle farmer and then left the cattle farm to go score 8 touchdowns in a game. Maybe there was something like that I'm unfamiliar with. But in the time of college football where, since they've actually worn face masks, there's never been a story like this. I mean, Indiana is quite literally, when Curt Cignetti took the job, the program that had lost more games than literally any other college football program in history. And they won the national championship. In year 2 under Curt Cignetti, it's just a stunning about face, and they are a completely worthy champion. And if you can't, and I know in this era of college football, it has been, it's not been embraced by everybody. A lot of people like the way things were. You like having the hierarchy. You think that something like this devalues the regular season. I could not disagree more. You've never had a more watched, more interesting regular season with more teams staying engaged longer. That's the other part of it. If throughout November you're playing to find out who's going to go to the ReliaQuest Bowl or the Duke's Mayo Bowl or get dumped with a bucket of Cheez-Its or eat a giant Pop-Tart, that's not nearly as interesting as playing throughout November to see who's going to make a playoff, who could go on a run like Miami just did. They were sitting there in the selection room waiting to see if their name was going to be called, and they were a doinked field goal and a block punt away from winning the national championship. Think about it. Miami doinked a field goal and had a punt block for a touchdown, 10-point swing, national championship flipped right there. I mean, that's incredible. But Indiana wins the national championship. It's possible in this era, and it's the most incredible story that we have, the most improbable story. I would say before this, the Boise State win over Oklahoma in that 2006 season in that Fiesta Bowl with the Statue of Liberty and all that sort of play, that was, up until this point, I would say the most improbable upset we had seen on a grand stage. This Indiana winning the national championship, there's just nothing in any of our lifetimes, or maybe since presidents had long beards, that even approaches the improbability of what we just saw with Indiana winning the national championship. We'll talk plenty about it as we move throughout the rest of the show today. We are brought to you by our friends over at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can shop them online. You can go to any of their 9 locations. Again, Lee Michaels, Baton Rouge, 2 locations, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Valentine's, we are less than a week away. Less than a month away from Valentine's Day. I don't mean to scare you, a week away. It's a month away from Valentine's Day. Gents, thrill her with a gift in the red box this Valentine's Day. Lee Michaels can help. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lane Kiffin was a guest today at the Greater Baton Rouge Business Report event, the Leadership Breakfast. And one of the things that he said that certainly drew a nice ovation from the crowd is the advice he got from Nick Saban on whether or not he should take the LSU job.
When John Carmouche and Verge and Julie came in and met with me, I know I keep saying it, it was just different. The feeling was different, and as I sat there and I told the story at the press conference, I was torn. And when I called Coach Saban and talked it through with him, he said, you know, Lane, you'll always regret if you don't go to LSU. It's the best job in America. And when he said that, that really made the decision for me. And as I've looked at it, it has pushed me. It has got me out of a comfort zone that we were doing amazing things, but you come here and you feel the power of the place, and it drives you every day to even go to another level.
That is an undeniable truth. And what they have done with this transfer portal class is unlike we've seen in the portal era, certainly. Well, let's hear much more from Lane Kiffin as we move throughout the show today. One of the additions is Mason Dosset from Baylor. He'll join us coming up right after SportsCenter on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters, too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do shutters, too. Listen, this is a great time of year to think about and to remember replacing your windows. You walk by on a morning like this when it's 32 degrees and you wake up, and you walk by your windows and it's drafty, how cold it is by your windows. That's because they're not likely not sealed properly. It's because they likely aren't custom windows that were made specifically to measure for your home. Well, when you install these energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows, they measure twice, install once, custom-made exactly for the specification of your home, reducing those costly air leaks. It keeps your energy bills low, and it'll increase your home's resale value. To learn more, check them out online at ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Lock Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Another NFL head coaching vacancy has been filled. The Titans hiring 49ers defensive coordinator and former Jets coach Robert Saleh as their new coach and giving him a 5-year contract. His first order of business, find an offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach that can help Cam Ward develop into Tennessee's franchise quarterback. Unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
With this specific job with the Tennessee Titans, I don't like the fit. I just don't. Because I've seen Rob Saleh try to put the infrastructure in place to develop a young quarterback, and it didn't work out. I don't know that Tennessee was at a point in their program building where they could afford to take this type of risk.
NBA Warriors wing Jimmy Butler will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL suffered last night, so Golden State now reassesses where it stands with the February 5th trade deadline approaching. Duke sued quarterback Darian Mensah, and a judge denied a request for a temporary restraining order that would have prevented him from entering the transfer portal. Duke is expected to enter him into the portal tomorrow, and a different judge will be ruling on the school's request for relief next month.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming on Wednesday, I'll tell you what's next for the playoff teams that have already been eliminated. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It is AFR. We are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Really cool day today. 1 day ago, Guarantee Corp, our parent company, celebrated its 100th anniversary, which is an incredible milestone. I love working for and with the Foster family. And here today, what we've done is we've made today a day of service where everyone in our company, from actually before the food bank opened until long after they closed when we get off air at 6 o'clock, volunteered throughout the day here. And so we're thrilled to be here giving back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, and highly encourage you, if you can, to serve in some way. If you can donate food, if you can donate money, if you can donate your time, the food bank always needs help. So help our friends and neighbors like they do here at the food bank. It has been an absolutely otherworldly transfer portal cycle here for Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers. And late last week, we learned that Mason Dosset from Baylor has joined the class as well, a guy that's a dual sport star and also played multiple positions at Baylor. And Mason's good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Mason, we appreciate it, man. How are you? Oh, my apologies. There we go. Mason, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. We appreciate you for taking a few minutes to join us here today. Hey, let me just start with sort of an obvious one, man. What was so appealing about LSU that made you pick the Tigers?
You know, LSU is one of the best or most prestigious programs, you know, in the country. You know, they're known putting players in the NFL, offensive and defensive-wise, and that's what you want to be a part of as a college athlete.
Hey, when you know, it's interesting because as I was kind of reading through your bio, you're a legacy there at Baylor. Your dad played at Baylor, played in the NFL. When did LSU first sort of make contact there with you?
You know, once I hit the portal, you know, they got in contact, entered here late last week, you know, and they got a contact once I entered, and then kind of from there, you know, I knew, you know, this was the spot to be at.
You also switched positions at Baylor, right? You went there as a safety, and this year played receiver. Can you walk us through just a little bit of how that and why that transition went that way at Baylor?
You know, it's kind of just based off of needs, you know, on the team, you know. There wasn't a lot of receivers at the time, and, you know, that was the best opportunity to play. And, you know, playing that in high school, playing both ways, you know, kind of getting knowledge on both sides of the ball, and especially coming in as a safety, you know, you kind of know the ins and outs of both ways, which is huge, you know, and especially at the next level, that's kind of what it comes down to, just the knowledge of the game. And you kind of just let your athletic ability do the rest.
Which do you prefer, offense or defense?
You know, I'll say defense. You know, that is kind of what I played in high school more so, and you know, the offensive side was fun, and you know, the being on defense, you know, it's not like anything you can explain. You know, it's unbelievable.
Mason Dosset is with us, Baylor transfer, joining the LSU transfer portal class. By the way, I was told the intention is for you to play safety at LSU. Can you confirm that's what they recruited you for?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're going to play on Blake Baker's defense. You also you did the hurdles at Baylor. Are you going to run track at LSU too?
Yes, sir. I plan to. Not this spring, but next spring for sure.
Okay, like you got to walk me through this, man. Like because the way you were described to me is that you are a quote freak athlete. That's just someone described you as. Like when did you fall in love with track or football? Like if you would give me a little bit of your sort of athletic background and how you found your way into multiple sports as a college athlete.
You know, it was crazy. You know, I really didn't start running track until, you know, really late in middle school. And I really wasn't that good at it. And then, you know, in high school, ran it just to letter as a freshman, and kind of just fell in love with it after that. You know, really just started putting things together. You know, and then my senior year ended up setting a national record in the hurdles. So I mean, it's crazy how that works. You know, even at Baylor too, you know, it was definitely awesome to do both, and it's definitely an experience for sure. You know, not a lot of people can say they do two sports in college, and running track and football, you know, goes hand to hand pretty well. You know, it's honestly just it's a really fun sport to play for sure.
Have you spoken with Coach Shaver about running track?
A little bit. You know, I kind of told the coaches more so that I just wanted to stick with football this spring. You know, kind of transfer in. This whole process is a lot right now to pick up. You know, and especially with off season coming too. So, new coach and staff. You know, kind of just want to be around them this first semester before I make any changes.
Mason Dosset's our guest, LSU transfer he'll play safety in Baton Rouge. You know what's interesting too about this Mason is like how quickly you all have to make decisions and change your life. Like a month ago, you're playing football at Baylor. Now, like you're transferring mid-semester, going to be going through spring. You have to move. Can you kind of describe what the last, call it, 2 to 3 weeks has been like?
Oh, it's been hectic for sure. You know, as you know, I mean, there's tons of college athletes in the portal, man. It's really been crazy. You know, just these past 2 to 3 weeks, just a lot of praying's been going on. And, you know, just happy to be a Tiger.
So you're going to play safety. Have they talked with you at all about what the plan is for 2026 and beyond at LSU? The coaches, I mean.
Yeah, you just playing safety as of right now. You know, I'm just gonna work with the coaching staff, to be that the best of my ability.
That's a spot where LSU has a couple of returning starters already. They brought in other safeties. Was it I guess to ask another way, was it a thing where they described for you like a plan, like maybe depth, special teams in 26, then a starter in 27, or did they even say come in and compete to be a starter in 26? Like, did you have those conversations?
Oh, I mean, it'll just come in and, kind of just, let your work, just see how it goes. At the end of the day, there's no guarantees. And, you just got to go out there and prove yourself.
What were your impressions? I would assume you had a chance to talk to Lane Kiffin. What were your impressions of your coach?
Oh, he's awesome. He's unbelievable. He is definitely one of the most famous coaches right now in college football. And, he's a great guy, great coach. I'm just happy to be a part of this team.
What about Blake Baker or Jake Olson, your position coach? You got a chance to talk to them much?
Yes, sir. Oh, they're all great. They're great coaches, and their experience in the game is unreal. The knowledge they bring on the defensive side of the ball is huge. I'm just looking forward to working with them.
Mason Dosset, LSU safety, coming in as a transfer from Baylor. Was it weird playing against LSU last year in the bowl game and now playing for LSU?
Oh, it's surreal for sure. If you were to tell me I'd be transferring at that time, I would have told you were lying. So it's a full circle moment for sure.
Mason, we appreciate a couple of minutes, man. I know it's a really busy time for everybody going through this right now. It really is a whirlwind, but we appreciate it. Glad to catch up. Look forward to meeting you in person soon, man. Thank you for the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
It's our pleasure. That is LSU safety transfer Mason Dosset. God, he's got a national track and field record in the hurdles. It's incredible. He was described to me as a freak athlete. And if you're out there running the hurdles, setting a national high school record, playing safety and receiver, switching positions at the major college level, that's a guy who it's going to be interesting to watch his career unfold in Baton Rouge. But it's another illustration of how Lane Kiffin has built this roster and this portal class. They got guys at the top of all the portal class rankings at positions of immediate need. You're talking about Sam Levitt. We've talked plenty about Jordan Seaton at left tackle. Ty Benefield at safety. Jordan Ross at edge rusher. They've gone and gotten dudes that were at the top of the rankings at their position that were needed plug-and-play guys, but they also got guys that have multiple years of eligibility remaining that they're looking forward to being multi-year contributors in Baton Rouge. So maybe next year and years subsequent, you're not going back into the portal to recruit 40 guys in next year's class. Mason Dosset's a name we'll get to know. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We do have a lot to delve into. Aaron Murray had to bump, so he'll be with us in hour number 3. Mike Triplet will be here in hour 3 as well. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. You're never far from a Shaw Bills location. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. They treat you like family, so they'll keep you coming back year after year after year. So, I don't know, maybe you get a nail in your tire on some of the bumpy roads. You hit a pothole, you get a flat. If they can fix it, awesome. If not, remember they can always replace those tires for you by giving you name brand tires at wholesale prices. Best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible at Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll come back. As I mentioned, Lane Kiffin on Tuesday morning was the featured speaker at the Greater Baton Rouge Business Report's Leadership Breakfast. Hat tip to my buddy Julio Malera, who was able to secure Lane. First public comments he gave. If you missed it, we'll let you hear some of the highlights of that talk from Lane Kiffin when we come back. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR Powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
REV, Let's Rev, Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. I had an awesome conversation today because I got a phone call that at last, fiber in my neighborhood is done. So we are setting up, was on the phone today with the Rev representative to set up, getting me switched over to their fiber connectivity from Rev, and I could not be more excited. If you have ever been in that situation where power, what one of the crazy things too, and this makes sense. We're talking about, you need a router, you need a modem, and the executive or the assistant on the phone call told me that, well, you don't need a modem because it's fiber. You just need your router. I was like, oh, that's kind of amazing. I hadn't even thought about that, but I'm fired up for it. So REV, Let'sRev.com, Let'sRev.com. We talk about them all the time. 90 years of serving our local community. REV, Let'sRev.com. More than 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev, and you should be next. REV, Let'sRev.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone.
And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Tractor sexy. We ride back and forth till we run out of light. Take it to the barn, put it up for the night. Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio.
Rolling along here from the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. For our Guarantee 100 day of service. Lane Kiffin, since he was hired, has been very, very visible on social media. He tweets all the time. He's on Instagram. He is everywhere on social media. He is not, however, everywhere publicly, which is an interesting paradigm. For someone who is so visible and so public and so forward-facing on social media, I would argue more than any other coach. Is that fair? Like I'm trying to think. Is there any other coach that is that forward-facing on social media? I mean, we spoke to Mason Dosset, the Baylor transfer, who told us when I asked him about Lane Kiffin, he said he's definitely like the most famous coach there is, which it's true. I mean, you could make arguments about better overall coaches, more successful overall coaches. If you talk about like famous coaches, like awareness, following, a lightning rod for conversation. Yes, Lane Kiffin is famous. But personally, like interpersonally or publicly, he's been absent. Now, in fairness, he showed up on a Sunday night. He was introduced on a Monday. 48 hours after that was the December early signing period. He went straight into building his staff, of which he had some guys going back and forth from Ole Miss and Baton Rouge as they're going through massive amounts of evaluations for transfer portal guys, then building toward the transfer portal, then hosting upwards of 12, 15 prospects a day for those first 2 weeks and building out this portal class. He's been busy, very clearly. I mean, if you follow him on social media, you'll see him tweet at 4 a.m. showing up at LSU football ops. Then he'll go, as I understand it, he'll show up, in the 4 o'clock hour. He'll work for an hour and a half, 2 hours, then go do his morning workout, his hot yoga, Pilates, and then go back to football ops and work. And it's been really a hunkered down approach for Lane Kiffin since he's gotten this job. But I also don't think that that's an outlier. I think that's based on talking to plenty of people who covered him during his time at Ole Miss. That's kind of who he is. So all that to say, Lane Kiffin did his introductory press conference and has not made public comments since. He has not done a press conference to announce his early signing period. He's not done a press conference to announce his coaching staff. He's not done a press conference at the start of the portal, during the portal. He's not done any television interviews. He is not local or national, not going on McAfee, anything. Aside from the interview he did during the bowl game on the ESPN broadcast. Aside from that, nothing. And all that preamble to suggest that's why Lane Kiffin speaking today at the Greater Baton Rouge Business Report event this morning in Baton Rouge is a great get. So hat tip to my buddy Julio Malera, who got Lane to show up when he has basically been hunkered down at football ops and hasn't really been or done anything publicly. So I want to take some time and go through some of what Lane Kiffin had to say, and hat tip Musso was able to chop this up for us. First, here's Lane talking about the first month and a half, 2 months as the head coach at LSU.
This has been an awesome time. I don't know, almost 2 months we've been here, and basically every day we've just been in the office, just grinding, and it's been a really challenging time to, have so much roster turnover and staff turnover and then have to go replace so many things. And, we've sat back and looked at it and probably said, there's never been a time like this where anyone's taken a job and had so many things to do. But also at that, to have a staff and then the staff go back and help another team in the conference try to make a national championship run has been really challenging. So I really thank our support. Since we've got here, it's been amazing. Everything we've asked for, they've been there and given to us.
That part at the end there is he said, look, he's been hunkered down, obviously, but the support, he said, everything we've asked for, they've given to us. That is undeniable, and it's a thing we continue to say. $2.5 million for Charlie Weiss, $3 million for Blake Baker. Look at the financial commitment to sign a portal class with right now 39 players, with the potential of adding 2 more in Jordan Seaton and Prince Uman Mellen, who are both going to be 7-figure adds. Yes, he has gotten everything he's needed. But it was also interesting, this is for Moose, he also said that players, Verge Osbury alluded to this in the interview he did with Michael Cobble, where, Verge sort of said that there's some players who are taking less or virtually no money to come to LSU because it's a better situation. And Kiffin sort of expounded there.
These guys have all the options in the country of where to go. And really, as you get really to this last week and they've seen the other great players come, we've got guys that normally in a situation would say, you guys are already loaded at that position, I'm not coming there. And when they come, they say, actually, these other places, sometimes they're offering more money. It's a better depth chart to go into. But those are the guys that are choosing to say, I don't care. I want to be part of this special thing. And I want to be part of a great LSU team. That there's been so many great LSU teams in the past. But now you get a chance to be one that starts a new era. that changes everything. So in that first year when we have that great season, they're always remembered when they come back 10, 20 years from now, like, man, remember when LSU was down a little bit? We were that team that brought it back to where it had been before and where it will stay.
One of the interesting conversations, let me just sort of piggyback on what he said there about players choosing LSU over better situations. There's a prospect I know that signed with LSU in this portal cycle that, and I think we all assume these gigantic dollar amounts. Like we assume the millions or the hundreds of thousands or whatever that some of the top tier guys are getting paid. Now, everybody is getting something. In this revenue share NIL era, like everybody's getting something. Remember, look, we're here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. In the collective era, remember, at the start of fall camp the last few years, the entire football team would come here, and it was one of their deliverables during a day of fall camp where they would come work at the food bank, and that was one of their deliverables. So everybody on the team got something. So everybody's making something, just so you know. But I know for firsthand that one member of this portal cycle, addition for LSU, is going to make $50,000 this year at LSU. This person was offered by another SEC school $100,000 and took half the amount to come to LSU because he felt it was a better situation. If you as a coaching staff are convincing a player to take half, and that may not seem like a big amount, but like, yo, it's $50,000. Like $50,000's a lot for adults. $50,000 for a college student? Do you remember what it was like being a college student? Like, that ain't nothing. And if you're convincing a student athlete to take half of what they were offered by another SEC school, you have to be doing one heck of a job from your sales pitch for every component of this process. Meaning what they're going to play, how you're going to develop them, the chance to win, the chance to play in Tiger Stadium, all the things to get them wrapped up in the emotion of that sell beyond just who's paying me the most money. A couple more, and this is the other thing that I think is so interesting. You know, we're talking today about Jordan Seaton. And by the way, I don't mind sharing this with you. In the top of the hour break, I did have a very brief phone conversation with Governor Landry. He was very kind to give me a few minutes of his time, and he did confirm to me that Jordan Seaton, Jordan's uncle, Lane Kiffin, they were at the governor's mansion yesterday, and the way he said it to me was, anything I can do to help LSU win and get good players, he's going to help. And so Lane Kiffin had called him and said they have this recruit, can they come? And so they did. They spent part of the afternoon yesterday at the governor's mansion. That is an illustration of the community going to great lengths to help the program. Because I'm certain there are a lot of programs working very hard to recruit student athletes. I don't know many other schools that are going to have the governor of the state bring an elite level transfer portal target to the governor's mansion for a visit. But LSU did that, and that's an illustration of the community helping to recruit, and that's something Lane Kiffin talked about in this speech.
It is really neat. The few places that I've been, and I've been with recruits, the community understands how to recruit. It's really amazing being at these restaurants and owners come up and they go to the kids. And I've been at places before we actually have to coach them how to recruit. Like, hey, we're going to bring these kids, hey, when you come up to them, this is their position. They'd really like this. This is their major. And then I go here and they already know it, So the community's been amazing that way. And the parents especially feel it. They feel like the love and the support from the community and how much they want to win and how much to support them. So I think just when you keep that up, our staff feels that, and that works down through the players and through the recruits, and everybody feels that.
Lane Kiffin again today at the Greater Baton Rouge Business Report Leadership Breakfast. I know the full video of that of his appearance is available all over YouTube and Twitter and the internet and Facebook, everywhere if you want to check it. There's a few more things we'll dabble in as we'll move throughout the day. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. All right, Mike Triplet is going to be here in 30 minutes. I do want to talk some New Orleans Saints, as the Saints have re-signed a safety. Also, we'll talk about some of the big position targets in free agency. That's in 30 minutes. Aaron Murray in 45 minutes. We'll talk about LSU's transfer portal class at quarterback specifically with Aaron Murray, so that's coming up a little bit later as well. It is After Further Review. We're at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. We are presented by South Point Volkswagen and southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Was actually over at South Point Volkswagen earlier today. Airline just north of Highland. Got to see Mr. Bob Grace, got to see Mr. Bill Reinhardt, got to see Brad Beauvais, got to see all my friends over there, Mr. Kerry Manuel. Just they're awesome people that I've gotten to know over the years. And when you go to buy a vehicle or lease a vehicle, or if you're going for service or whatever the case may be, they just do an outstanding job of giving you a feel that they value your service. And so much of the Volkswagen experience is just having fun. South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. It's new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We are at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank for the Guarantee 100 Day of Service. Let me knock out a quick break. We will come back. Usually have Tigers of the Pros in about 15 minutes from right now. A ton to do. We got 2026 college football playoff championship odds. Where's LSU? We've got 2026 Heisman odds as well. A lot of that we're going to get into. And as we roll along, we find out more about Jordan Seaton and Prince Uman Mellen. We'll give you any of the latest there. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. I tell you all the time, and it is so important to remember this. You should have your home's heater checked, cleaned, tuned up every single season without exception. If you have not done it yet this year, if you don't remember doing it last year, then you are past due. You got to take this seriously for several reasons. Obviously, financially. I mean, you want your heater to run efficiently, save you money. You want it to last, and in order to do that, you have to service it appropriately. But most importantly, to make sure that thing is safe to operate during these cold weather months. Don't let it become a hazard. Take the steps to do this right. Have River City's 1 Hour Air come out for the heater safety check. Call them right now. 752-0001.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Glad to have you back with us here from the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And something we have mentioned, we're here today throughout the day for Guarantee, our Guarantee Corporation, of course, our parent company, celebrating 100 years, which is an amazing accomplishment in and of itself. I've been so fortunate to be a very, very, very small thumbnail of the history of Guarantee for the last 15 years. But you think about 100 years, a company that started during the Great Depression and has lasted through world wars and economic booms and dips and natural disasters and so many different things. And Flynn Foster, is our president and CEO, often says Guarantee was my grandfather's vision, my dad's execution, and my job not to screw it up. And I love that he's done way more than not screw it up. But I love the humility in there, and it's one of the reasons why Guarantees continue to maintain local ownership and wants to be for generations to come. And I love this company. And because we do things like this. So on the celebration of Guarantee's 100th anniversary, we said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to live up to our mission, and we're going to go give back to the community. And so the company has spent the entire day here at the everyone in the company has spent the day here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, volunteering time. And Liz Feifer, who's the president and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, is good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Liz, it's a pleasure. Thanks for the time.
Thanks. It's great to be here with y'all.
Well, thanks for having all of us here today. I guess this is a day like this overwhelming? When you have 100 people, how many were here rolling through your volunteering, or is that pretty standard?
It's pretty standard, to be honest. We host volunteers every day. We usually have a session in the morning and another session in the afternoon, and so we are pretty attuned to our doors being open and shut all day long when volunteers come and go.
People, I think we say food bank. I think most people probably understand what a food bank is. You feed hungry people. But if you would just elaborate on what the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank does on the day-to-day.
Yeah, great. I love talking about what we do and how integral we are to the community, because I'm not sure everybody knows. I mean, when you think of a food bank, we are not actually giving food out from this distribution center, and that's really what we are. We bring in a lot of food, we procure food. We also have a lot of food that's donated. And then our role is really important because we partner with over 40 different, or actually 140 different pantries, community groups, church organizations and the like, to get that food that we organize, we pack, we sort, we put into boxes. Then they're the ones actually distributing out into the community. And we, as the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, are in over 11 parishes. So we cover quite a big area here in southern Louisiana, along with a couple of other food banks in the state. That's interesting. I'm not sure. I didn't know that. And our show, we're fortunate enough to have affiliates all over the state. So there's a lot of people listening outside of East or West Baton Rouge that maybe aren't aware of that. So what do you know offhand the 11 parishes that you all service? Of course, I had to ask you that. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just do big footprint around Baton Rouge, spread it out around 11 parishes. We probably touched that. I'm sure you can find it at the website as well. So on a day like this, where you host a bunch of volunteers like us, what when people volunteer their time, what are they doing when they come here? So a myriad different things. A lot of what our volunteers do is they're preparing boxes that are going to either children in schools that we are trying to make sure have food at the end of their day, especially over the weekend. We also do what we call senior boxes that are distributed out also throughout the month, and many of our volunteers help us pack those boxes. And then also we put together just boxes that might be full of rice or full of beans or full of products that when they get to the local pantry, then neighbors in need that come to the pantry have a choice of what they want. That's really what we're also promoting, is more of a dignified approach that when they go there, it's like going to a grocery store and they're picking out what's best for their family at that time.
Liz Feifer is with us. She's the president and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, where we've been broadcasting all day here, all of our shows all day long, and every employee at Guarantee Corp has been here all day. It's been a great day, I know, for our company, and being able to reach out and join with the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but what do you need?
We are always looking for additional support, and that can come in the form of three things: time, resources, and food. Time, because our organization here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, we exist based on volunteers. So Guarantee and the huge amount of support that you and your team provided today was just phenomenal. And so we need more volunteers every single day. They can go to our website, brfoodbank.org, and they'll find ways to give back, and there's volunteer schedule there. People can create an account and sign up for different slots to volunteer. So volunteering time. But if time is not something you can give, maybe it is resources. We have a program that we call Nourish 365, and we're looking for monthly donors. So something where you're making a commitment for the year, for all of 2026, what can you give each month? Maybe it's $5, maybe it's just one less coffee each month, or maybe it's up to $50 you can give. You're in a great place where you can give a bit more. Nourish 365, you'll find information about that. Or maybe right now you have a little extra and you just want to do a one-off gift. All of these types of financial contributions are important to our organization because we can make $1 go further. For each $1, we can buy up to and provide up to 3 meals.
Wow.
So think of one can of green beans probably cost you $1.20, I don't know, about $1 at the store. But we can provide 3 meals because of our economies of scale and our ability to procure it good rates. All of that, time, financial contributions, but then also food. That is the lifeline of this organization. Sure. So the food that we receive from the government, from other organizations that we procure ourselves, we still are dependent upon the food that comes in from the community. So you can run a food drive. You could, do that with a local group or with your office. You could do it at a school or your church. That kind of hands-on service really is to help us, but it's also to continue to bring that sense of spirit and service within communities, and we're all about that.
If I would imagine also most food pantries, organizations like that benefit from the work you do are familiar with, but if there is someone or a group listening that may need your resource, what's the best way for them to go about reaching it? Same thing?
Yeah, they can go to our website. There's tons of information there. They can certainly call our office as well. We've got staff on kind of ready and willing to walk colleagues, those interested through the process. We have basically packets of information ready to make it as easy as possible for you to run a food drive or to bring stuff into the food bank.
Is it common for people still to reach out that need your assistance?
They can also call in as well at our reception, and even online. You can just put in your location, even your area code, and we can help link you to a pantry.
Okay. It is brfoodbank.org. That's the website, brfoodbank.org. And remember the Nourish 365 campaign that they have going on as well. brfoodbank.org. Time, resources, and food, 3 ways that you can give back. Liz Feifer, the president and CEO here of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, thank you for your time. Thanks for hosting us today. Hopefully we weren't too big of a disturbance here. I'm me yapping about sports while y'all trying to save lives and feed people, and I'm out here talking about transfer portals and stuff. But it's been great.
Thank you. We appreciate it, and thanks for all your help.
It's our pleasure. It's after further review. We are here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Muse will wrap up the hour with Tigers and the Pros. Mike Triplet's coming up here in about 17 minutes from right now, as we will talk a little New Orleans Saints, as they have re-signed a safety and maybe some of the other needs that we'll delve into as we move. Aaron Murray will be here in about 30 minutes from right now. Ton to do. We're a little more than halfway home here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
We are brought to you by our friends over at Goodwood, Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. We talk all the time about the many different ways that they help you live your fullest life. And I talk often about peptide and peptide therapies that are available. And if maybe you've heard about peptides, but you don't know a lot about it, you want to learn more, I want you to know that there are so many different ways that you could safely, naturally supplement yourself to get to healthy levels of whatever it may be. Like, I take every day BPC 157. That is a pentadecapeptide that is derived from gastric juice. It's a very, very small injection I give myself in my lower back every day, which has been incredible at helping me heal from the years of back pain that I've dealt with. NAD Plus is another that I take. It's for cellular optimization. It will quite literally make your cells younger. There's so many ways that you could live your optimal life. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Here's the snap back. Beck looks, throws it down the field, and it is intercepted by Indiana.
Wow, what a play! And it is Jamari Sharp who comes up with a pick, and he runs into the end zone. They're going to call a penalty. But Indiana intercepted the football, and it's not going to matter.
Same we see from all our guys. A lot of resiliency, just continued, really tremendous work ethic. Earned the respect of his teammates working hard with him. I mean, we win together, we lose together. Proud of him. Like to have that last one back, but again, a lot of the plays made throughout the course of the year from the guys up here on stage and the guys at locker room got us here to this moment and gave us an opportunity all the way to the end. So proud of him.
Mario Cristobal on Carson Beck, the final pass of his college career, an interception, but really a great season for Carson Beck, coming off the torn UCL in the SEC championship game for Georgia, rehabs that injury, comes back to college for another season, goes to Miami, throws for 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, of course, but the 12 interceptions, and none will be more notorious than the final pass of his college career, where it looked like Miami was driving for what could have been the game-winning score. But that turnover ultimately undid the Hurricanes in their upset bid there late. So Indiana is your national champion. Carson Beck's college career is over. Can Miami land Darian Mensah? If you haven't heard, we talked about it a bit earlier today, but Mensah, the Duke quarterback, who is committed to Miami via the transfer portal, a story that broke late last week. Duke is suing Darian Mensah to prohibit him from transferring. So that's going to be one that we continue to watch. All right, it is After Further Review. We are glad you're hanging out with us here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Right now, Musso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, let's start with some NBA action from a night ago. Trendon Watford continues to work his way back for the 76ers from a left adductor strain. Remember, they started him off real slow with some bench minutes. Just hit double-figure minutes earlier this week late last week. And on Monday night, it was once again double-digit minutes off the bench for Trendon Watford, this time 12. Did sink a basket, did grab a rebound, and blocked a shot. They are being quite cautious in bringing him back from this injury. 113-104, the Sixers did get the win. Speaking of injuries, it's bad news once again for the Brooklyn Nets and Cam Thomas. Thomas did not play in the Nets' loss a night ago against the Suns due to a hamstring, a left hamstring at that. Yes, the same left hamstring that has bothered him throughout his career. This is the second straight game that Cam Thomas has missed with that injury. The Nets are back in action on Wednesday night against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. We'll see if Thomas is able to compete in that, although right now he does appear doubtful. Is Joe Brady inching closer to becoming a head coach in the NFL? Well, his string of interviews would lead you to believe that. It was announced that Joe Brady would be interviewing with the Arizona Cardinals here on Tuesday. Of course, they fired Jonathan Gannon, so we're looking for a replacement there. But that's not all. Also announced on Tuesday is that Joe Brady will get a second interview with the Baltimore Ravens for their head coaching position. Tom Pelissero had the news there. This is just the latest. Brady, of course, has interviewed with the Dolphins. He interviewed with the Giants. He interviewed with the Raiders. Really just about any opening that was there, Joe Brady got an interview for. Now the focus really swings to his second interview with the Ravens and an interview here on Tuesday with the Cardinals. We will keep you posted for the former LSU pass game coordinator, current Bills OC, and where he may land next. Could he be promoted to the head coach in Buffalo? I don't know. We'll see. That's Tigers in the Pros.
We are presented by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU together, we roar. Of course, I say it every day. I want you to think of LSU. I want you to think of Our Lady of the Lake. When you think of Our Lady of the Lake, I want you to think LSU. They are synonymous. They go hand in hand. Our Lady of the Lake has been such an incredible partner, not only on the field, on the court, the diamond, so many different ways helping LSU athletes, their optimal performance, but also taking care of the LSU students through the Student Health Center, and then everyday champions like you and me. They've also been an amazing partner by way of NIL deals and supporting LSU in so many different ways. It is Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics, part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, which, boy, it's hard to go anywhere without feeling the touch points. Whenever we talk about healthcare, there's two things, by and large, that we all want: access and convenience. And Our Lady of the Lake provides that. World-class care available to you at your fingertips. You can learn more online at ololrmc.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar. All right, it is After Further Review. We're going to get Sports Center here, get you caught up on national headlines. Mike Triplet is going to join us. Good enough to join us Thursdays during the football season, but actually a good bit going on in the Saints world. They've re-signed safety Julian Blackmon. They're certainly beginning the process of evaluating free agent targets, and then next week is the Senior Bowl. So a lot of the evaluations for the draft starting to begin. What are the big needs that the Saints have? We'll talk about that with Mike Triplet coming up here after the top of the hour. Aaron Murray is going to join us next hour as well to sort of evaluate the LSU transfer portal class at quarterback, the three quarterbacks that LSU's at. We're looking forward to that conversation. It is After Further Review. The other, we're continuing to keep an eye on, I'm waiting for updates on, obviously, Jordan Seaton and Prince Uman Mellen, the two big stories that everyone is trying to follow to see what's going to happen with these two elite-level prospects. So will we see Jordan Seaton land at LSU? Hopefully we get news of that some point here today, as we've talked about, needing to enroll, and then we're still waiting on Prince Uman Mellen from Ole Miss formally to have his name appear in the transfer portal. So until that happens, LSU can't formally offer him. We'll keep you posted. Hour 3 after Sports Center.
After Further Review.
Arco.com, ARCCO. This is industrial Generac generator power. Think of it this way. At your business, power goes out, storm comes, power goes out. What do you do? Well, so many of us, we can't afford to have our businesses go offline. That's where Arco comes in. Incredible company in the jobs they do, servicing governments and municipalities and universities and hospitals and other businesses like grocery stores and gas stations or whatever. I mean, we're here at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Think a storm comes, this building has to have power. Well, Arco Power Systems could help. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Home base is in Baton Rouge on Airline Highway near I-12, but they have an office in Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, Austin. Draw a giant circle. You're in that footprint, Arco serves you. Arco.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email LockeMeredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Giants players past and present on hand today as the team introduced new head coach John Harbaugh. He said he wanted to be on the biggest stage in the biggest sport. That's why he took the job. Knows of the challenges and expectations. He called his focus simple. Build a team that's physical, tough, smart, and disciplined, and plays the game the way it should be played. Harbaugh's impact on the Giants will be immediate, predicts ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky.
A different culture overnight. You know, the Giants, before they hired Coach Harbaugh, it was a losing culture. It was a losing organization. The minute they hire Coach Harbaugh, it automatically goes to, well, it's now a winning culture. At least the guy that's running the place now is in his blood winning. And then two, the expectations are they'll be competitive next year.
The trespassing charge against Vikings receiver Jordan Addison, stemming from a January 12th visit to a casino in Florida, has been dropped by a Florida state attorney. With the charge dropped, it is unlikely that Addison faces any discipline from the NFL. Indiana and Ohio State, co-favorites to win next season's college football playoff, each 7-1 at DraftKings Sportsbook.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Matt, Alondra on site. Paul's here as well. Paul O'Neill back in studio along with Musso. Glad to have you hanging out with us with 1 hour to go. We're at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank today. And thrilled to be here for the Guarantee 100 Day of Service. Our entire company here at Guarantee Corp, spending the day here giving back in recognition of this company's 100th anniversary, which was a day ago. Interesting time for the New Orleans Saints. Missed the playoffs again. But people are really optimistic, and I think rightfully so. You've got your coach and your quarterback. So what else do you need to get back to the playoffs? Mike Triplet joins us on Thursdays all throughout the football season. Good enough to hang out with us today with some roster news. Mike, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. It's great to hear your voice after a little hiatus of you and I speaking. They re-signed Julian Blackmon today. Big deal?
Not a big deal, and actually, you're not supposed to lose your job due to injury, but he comes back and finds that Jonas Sanker has done a nice job sliding into the role. So I'm not I'm not positive that'll be a competition. If it'll start out as Blackmon understanding he's a backup, but if he's a backup, I mean, what a great one. I mean, he's been a starter his whole career as a third-round pick who did a lot of good things for the Colts and looked like he was going to do good things for the Saints last year. One of the pluses with him was versatility. He's played free safety, strong safety, nickel. So that's, perfect kind of depth that you want to be adding. I don't think it changes the Vegas win total for the team or anything like that, but it's also good when guys like that come and want to be a part of something. Him and Brandon Staley had kind of a background together, and he was excited to work with him, and obviously excited to continue working with him.
You talking about his versatility there, Mike, made me think about the impending situation here with Alontae Taylor, who obviously is a free agent and could choose to sign elsewhere. Do these things compute? Maybe this is the Saints giving themselves a little bit of a safety net if Alontae Taylor signs elsewhere?
Yeah, I don't know that it's a direct one-for-one replacement, but he has played that nickel role before. He would be an option in that nickel role. I feel like if they let Alontae Taylor go in free agency, which is entirely possible, I'd rate that probably about, 60-40 he goes right now, something around those lines. I still think they would be on the lookout to try and replace him with what you call the star defensive back or whatever. That's always been such a big role in Brandon Staley's defense. But if they swing and miss in free agency and don't end up, drafting one high, then Blackmon would certainly be a contender for it.
60-40, you think Alontae Taylor ends up leaving. Why?
Just because the market has oodles of Googles of millions of dollars to spend. Yeah, I don't know if those are legitimate math terms.
Save that for the next time we do Mad Libs.
Yeah, exactly. But think of it reminds me of Paulson and Debo's situation last year. You can like a guy, but if the open market's going to, just make an offer that's too good to be true. Alontae Taylor feels like one of those guys that might be in the, just gets priced out of New Orleans market. But I know he did like playing for Staley and probably had his best year under him. So they do have a fighting chance.
Mike Triplet, Neworleans.football. So then let me pivot that conversation to another impending free agent. I guess, well, he's not an impending free agent, but likely up for an extension, which is Chris Olave. So what do you suspect the timeline will – well, first of all, do you expect New Orleans – to extend Chris Olave this offseason?
I do. That's the most likely scenario, I think. As long as everything's okay with this blood clot situation, it's such a unique thing, but as long as everyone feels comfortable with that, I think this would be the timing. I did not expect to ever happen before this because he didn't want to give a discount until he had a chance to say no. When I get past the concussion issue and prove that the concussion issue is not going to derail my career. I want to prove that I'm a wide receiver one, and boy did he do that in a big way with the second team All-Pro season, the 100 catches, the 16 starts until that last game. So now I think he should be ready to be at the table, and I think they should want to too. I mean, their salary cap opens wide open within a year. I think wide receiver 2 is already a huge need for them. They don't want to make 2 receivers, 2 of their biggest needs. He obviously has a good chemistry with Tyler Shuck. He obviously is a good fit for an offense. It makes so much sense for them to want to keep him and for him to want to stay.
Would it not make sense to have him play out his 5th-year option season to maybe get a little more evidence before you make a potential $30 million a year investment in Olave?
Yeah, I mean, I think the team would always love that opportunity, but, I think this is the time in a player's career where, he has certainly given no indication he plans to hold out, that he threatens to do anything like that. But whatever leverage he has, I think he'd like to get the extension done before this season, just like most receivers heading, there's even receivers from that draft class. Garrett Wilson already got his done a year early. I think both Chris Olave and Drake London, who were other first-round picks. Jamison Williams was one. Yeah, there were a lot of first-round receivers that year. Jamison Williams and Garrett Wilson have already done extensions, and I think Chris Olave and Drake London will be pushing for him this year. That's just what happens in most cases. You don't want it to get to the the very end when it doesn't have to.
And do you think, though, as far as the timeline, it's something that likely extends toward training camp, toward the summer?
Yeah, I don't think there will be an immediate super rush. My bet is if it's not done by the start of training camp, it'll be a priority during August-ish.
Okay. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplet. Give him a follow. The other big thing, Mike, is obviously the other side of that, not only retaining your own guys, but what about positions where you might potentially bring someone in? So that sort of evaluation is beginning now. So where do you see the most glaring needs to add veteran free agents?
I mean, veteran free agents, I'm looking at the guard position. For me, that's a position that you'd like to, you probably don't address that with the 8th pick in the draft. I guess technically maybe you could sign or draft an offensive tackle there, consider moving Tali Fuaga. That doesn't seem like the best case scenario. You can't rely on it. But they have to address that position somehow, some way. I don't think if you take a guy on day 2 or day 3 of the draft, you've definitely fixed that. So I think guard has to be a huge free agent priority. I think wide receiver, as I said, is also a priority. I think running back is also a priority. I'd be okay addressing those in day 1 or day 2 of the draft. But what's interesting about those positions is there's a lot of options in free agency. There are a lot of intriguing sort of wide receiver 2 guys that are still in their 20s. There are a lot of intriguing running backs who are still in their 20s. So I don't think normally that would be a free agency must, but those are 2 positions where there are a lot of options and you might find some bargains. So I'm really interested to see if they do explore free agency at those positions.
Hey, Mike, before you go, I know over at New Orleans Football, you all had a study about New Orleans and the general lack of soft tissue injuries. Yeah. Can you just kind of give us a little bit of a flyover on that? I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, look, when the team evaluates injuries, they really, really study what could we have prevented? Like, how can we prevent things? Climate, diet, our exercise routine. How hard do we push them? How many days in a row do we go? How many days off do we take? Like, all those things can't be measured very easily in broken bones or concussions or torn biceps or things. The injuries that are not preventable. So the preventable ones are, how many guys pulled their groin? How many guys tore their hamstring? How many guys were straining their calf and everything like that? And obviously, when they bring in Ted Rath, who had a really good reputation from several other teams this year, and had let Matt Ray go last year, that was a big focus. That's a study they're going to look into is soft tissue. How well did we do? So 1 year is obviously a small sample size. It doesn't prove anything. There's luck. There's chance. But they made that a huge priority last offseason. And it vindicates that they're going to probably stay on this track, that's for sure.
He is Mike Triplet, NewOrleans.football. Check it out, NewOrleans.football. Follow him on Twitter, X, at Mike Triplet. Always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. It's after further review. Aaron Murray was supposed to be with us last hour. He had to flip, so we're going to break, come back, and we'll talk about LSU's transfer portal quarterback class with former Georgia quarterback Aaron Murray. That's next here on AFR.
After further review.
Hey, if you're thinking about selling your home, you need Darren James for so many reasons. There's the guaranteed sale program I tell you about all the time. Agree to a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. Like, what do you have to lose? There's also a communication guarantee. If at any point you're not thrilled with the level of communication, Darren will let you fire him. He'll let you out of the contract free and clear, no questions asked. The bottom line is you're going to have an exceptional customer service experience with Darren James, but you're also going to get results. There's a reason Darren is on the Wall Street Journal's list every year of the top 1% of realtors in America. There's 1.5 million realtors in the United States. Darren James last year was number 14 in the country on the transaction side, the number of homes closed. Nobody gets to a closing table faster, more often than Darren James. So if you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Rolling along here, 5 o'clock hour, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We are at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank today, our Guarantee Corp Day of Service in honor of 100 years of Guarantee Corporation. So we're thrilled to be here. I've been here since before they opened, and we're here since, well, everybody done rolled out of here like an hour and a half ago. I mean, we're sitting in this giant warehouse, just me and Alondra hanging out. Anyway, we're glad that you're with us. I'm glad to welcome Aaron Murray to the show. ESPN, of course, Snaps. Much better show without T-Bob. Aaron, how are you, dude?
Well, we even rebranded it, though. But the Knack and Murray now, RIP, our boy T-Bob. But, man, doing good. Great game last night. And a little sad we're no more football for a while. My wife's excited. She'll thank goodness it's over with. But us football guys are going to be counting down the days till end of August.
We all get our life back to a certain degree, I suppose. Hey, what was your look, you're watching, obviously, with a very trained eye last night at those two quarterbacks. What was your take on how Mendoza and Beck played in that game?
I thought they played fine. Obviously, Mendoza, first off, just dealing with that pass rush, really difficult to really get in any kind of rhythm. And they did a good job, hitting him early and the bloody lip and, when he pulled it and did the play action after handing the ball off. So I thought they did a good job to rattle him early, but that overall made the throws when he needed to. Those back shoulder plays were absolutely terrific. The RPO game was on point there in the first half, just to get first downs, to eat up clock. We've seen Miami really dominate time of possession at times this year. Obviously, saw them dominate time of possession versus Ole Miss, and then to have the inverse of that in this game versus Indiana, just shows you how, methodical they were on offense in that first half to really keep Miami off the field and not let them get any sort of momentum or any sort of, get in sync at all offensively. So I thought he played well. It wasn't his best game, but it was a good game and made big plays when he needed to, which is what you need to do against a defense that is as elite as Miami's. And same thing for Carson. I thought Carson played a really good game. I thought we obviously did not get a lot of opportunities there in the first half. Made some big-time throws in the second half, but obviously the glaring big mistake there, which was just so, I'm not going to say uncharacteristic, but, he throws the dig route so well. That's his bread and butter, throwing over the middle of the field. And, I'm sure you've talked about it and seen it, but Tony was just wide open. He usually looks one direction and opens up the gap when the linebackers move, and all of a sudden the guy's wide open 10 yards down the field. And that was the situation. He looked left, decides to keep throwing it left instead of coming back, which, heck, Tony might have caught that ball and scored a touchdown for all I know. Definitely would have gotten the ball right around the 20-yard line. But like I said, overall, I thought he played well. I thought he played well in November. I thought he played well in the playoffs. And I thought we saw last night, in my opinion, the top two quarterbacks off the board in the NFL draft this year.
Certainly a worthy champion. So you think Beck will be the second quarterback off the board after Mendoza?
I do think Beck will be number 2 off the board. I think when you look at him, the other two obviously it seems like right now it's Ty Simpson and Chambliss. Ty had his ups and downs this year too, and I know a lot had to do with Alabama's lack of run game and protection at times. But I think when those two go up against each other, Beck has the size. I think Beck, throws the ball beautifully, throws with great touch. Obviously, he's played a lot more football, has a really good record, and like I said, he's played extremely well down the stretch and led his team to a national championship. And a lot to do with that, how good that defense is as well. But it has shown that he's athletic and tough along the playoffs. So I think the measurables obviously will be in favor of Beck when he goes out there, Pro Day, Senior Bowl, Combine, when it compares to Ty Simpson. The same thing with Chambliss. I think, I love Chambliss. I think if Trinidad was 6'2", we may be talking about him as the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Now, I just think he's going to measure somewhere in that 5'10" to 5'11" range. And, it's going to hurt him a little bit. Not every team wants a quarterback that is not, 6'2" to 6'5". And when you see Carson up there at 6'5", 235, and he throws away the ball that he throws, the fact that he's played, darn near 40 football games at D1 between Georgia and Miami, helped lead Miami to a national championship, I think he's going to pass the eye test and obviously a lot of film as well. So, I do think Carson will go above those other two and be the second quarterback taken.
Okay. He's on Twitter at Aaron Murray 11. You want to give him a follow. I would love to get your take on what LSU has done here in the portal, adding 3 quarterbacks. Let's just start at the top with Sam Leavitt. The big question, Aaron, of course, is going to be his health. But provided he's healthy, what do you think LSU is getting in Sam Leavitt?
Well, again, a competitor. So I actually had the Arizona State game in which he got hurt, but did my due diligence in preparing and getting ready for the game, and obviously studied a lot of tape on him. And we all watched what he did a year ago in leading Arizona State to the playoffs. So he's a competitor. He's a great athlete. He can push the ball vertically down the field. He's I think perfect for what Lane wants to do offensively. I really do. I said this before, when Lane took the job, I said that they get a quarterback. This is a team that can contend in the SEC and should be a playoff team year one. And they got the talent. Now they got the quarterback that, to your point, if he's healthy, obviously, is an absolute game changer. I think it's a great marriage. And I think he's a good personality too. You look at Lane and some of the great quarterbacks he's had, he built such a really close bond relationship with those guys. They're able to work, very closely on and off the field in collaboration each and every Saturday. So I think that'll be the same thing with their guy this year. And like I said, hopefully he can get healthy and ready to go and have a big season there in Baton Rouge.
Do you know much about Husson Longstreet?
I don't. Obviously, hasn't really played a lot coming from what USC. 5-star guy. I'm sure he's very talented. I don't think they probably want him to play. I think it's a situation in which,
right.
You want him to back up and learn the system and, come in and be the guy next year. So, I think everyone understands that, hey, Lane's going to be able to produce quarterbacks. I think this year was the best example of that, of obviously getting a Division II guy and turning him into what he did. And I mean, Trinidad Chambliss, might have been selling insurance if he didn't transfer to Ole Miss. And now all of a sudden he's going to be drafted somewhere in the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. Like, that is just absolutely crazy to see. And sure, he's a great quarterback and athlete before that, but what Lane had, helped him to develop this year along with the rest of his staff, should, like I said, give LSU fans a lot of excitement of what they can do this year. Then obviously getting a quarterback with as much talent as he has, obviously being a former 5-star guy, just give him a year in the system to learn from a guy like Sam Levitt, who has so much experience as a quarterback as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Chambliss. It's Aaron. It's interesting, and Aaron Murray's our guest. A lot of people are using the comp and trying to say the next Chambliss. And so LSU added Landon Clark from Elon. Really exciting to look at on film. And you could see that's and he came on. Landon Clark came on the show and said that's how they recruited. And they're like, meaning Kiffin and Charlie Weiss, they said, look at what we did with Chambliss. We think you're the next one.
Yep.
Like, you played the position obviously at a very high level. I think part of the reason we talk about Trinidad Chambliss is because of how improbable that story is. So is it probable to assume that LSU might have another guy like that waiting in the wings in Landon Clark? Even if you don't know anything about him, I'm just saying, like, the probability of finding a guy from a lower level who can achieve what would you just describe with Chambliss?
Yeah, I would say this about, because I've covered Ole Miss, I would say 3 or 4 times over the past 2 years, and if I had a chance to, sit down with Lane, and Lane does his due diligence. He's one of the reasons why I thought so highly of Lane Kiffin, and anytime a job opening came up, he's always the first thing that comes out of my mouth is he's really adapted to this new era of football through the transfer portal, through NIL, and talking with him about that, it's not, in his mind, it's not luck. You looked at the roster he built a year ago. You look at the roster he built this year. There's a lot of due diligence that goes into it. There's a lot of tape. There's a lot of talking to parents and former coaches and teammates. And, I mean, they do everything they can to make sure they know that who the person is coming into the locker room, that they're going to fit there, and obviously, can fit schematically in what they're trying to do offensively. So I don't think this is just Lane getting anyone off the street just to get depth at a certain position. If they believe that he has a skill set that fits their needs, and obviously they saw what Trinidad can do with that skill set within the offense this past year, then yeah, it's a possibility. Like I said, all these coaches nowadays are doing, they all do their due diligence. I just think what the recipe that Lane has created for himself has obviously been extremely successful. Because I was very skeptical of the process of the whole. We're going to build a team through the transfer portal. I just didn't think that could survive long term. Like, yeah, maybe you can hit a year or two here or there, but it's never going to be anything consistent. And I'm not saying LSU is going to go this route. I think he can build through the high school rankings a little bit more consistently than he did Ole Miss. But he has done such a good job being consistent, winning with new guys and building that culture. So, yeah, it's 100% possible. But to the point of the fact that it's with Lane should give you confidence that the probability maybe is a slightly higher compared to going somewhere else.
Yeah. Last thing for you. I don't know. I mean, look, obviously the season just ended yesterday, and like everybody's going through this wacky 3-week portal cycle run, but we've obviously been neck deep in everything that they've done in the portal, adding 39 players already. Do you think with the talent they brought in that's a team that being a playoff team next year, a top 12 team, is a realistic expectation year one under Lane Kiffin?
I do. I think because he did it at Ole Miss, so why can't he do it at LSU? I mean, why should it be any different? If he built a roster the way he did there in Oxford, why can't that be possible? And heck, we just saw a head coach who built his roster mostly through the portal as well. And I know a lot of those guys came with him from James Madison, so there's a little bit of a difference there because of the knowledge of the culture and a lot of what they're trying to do schematically. But it can work. And like I said, he knows the process. He knows what he wants. He knows the type of personnel he wants to get to fit, especially his offense. So yeah, I think it can work. Like I said, I think LSU could be a contender if Sam Levitt is healthy and playing like he did this year, and then obviously a year ago when he led the Sun Devils to the playoffs. I think you have a contender both in the SEC and obviously from there to be in the playoffs.
He is Aaron Murray. You can get him on Twitter at Aaron Murray. Mac and Murray College Football Show on YouTube. Make sure you go subscribe again. It's way, 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 way better than Snaps was with T-Bob. So thank God you got rid of that dead weight, that albatross around your neck. Even though Mac is a Clemson guy, way better than T-Bob.
Oh, goodness. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's always funny when I'm working out. I see T-Bob on Barstool at the gym. I'll say, oh, I know that guy.
Aaron, it's always great to chat, man. We appreciate the time. We'll do it soon, all right?
See you, Matt.
Thanks, bud. That is Aaron Murray. It's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. Oh, y'all. So I was talking to Chef Layton earlier today over at Supper Club. Need to remind you that Valentine's Day is less than a month away. They are already booked solid on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a Saturday this year. However, Valentine's Day is also the same day as Endymion. So Valentine's weekend is that crazy Mardi Gras weekend. So let me make a suggestion. If you're going to be doing the Mardi Gras thing on Valentine's weekend, get a reservation that week at Supper Club. Like, I can't imagine if you're going to do Valentine's Day why you would go anywhere else than Supper Club. Not only the best dining experience you'll have, but also the most Instagrammable restaurant in Baton Rouge or anywhere. So naturally, you're going to go and take her to dinner for Valentine's. She's going to want to take pictures. She's going to want to put it on Instagram to show all her friends. They're like, the food is amazing. It's the best dining experience. But again, how sort of palatial that entire restaurant is, how Instagrammable with the way of the presentation of the cocktails and the appetizers and the everything. Yes, you need to go to Supper Club. That is your charge. So get a reservation for the week of Valentine's Day, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com for Supper Club. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We've got half an hour to go. Otter will be here for Otter Locks in about 15 minutes. Let me knock out a quick break. We do have 2026 Heisman odds, 2026 college football playoff odds, and I'll give you the latest of what I know about the Seatan and Uman Mellen stuff here as we'll catch up. So stay with us here. It is a Tuesday edition of AFR. We are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Don't you move.
AFR.
We are brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. And y'all, we're at this point now on the calendar when it's cold and you're like, I don't want to plant anything. Flowers are going to die because they're going to freeze. Remember, this is the time of year with this cold weather to plant trees and shrubs and some of these winter plants that love the cold weather. Like, this is the time, if you want to plant a citrus tree, that you get that citrus tree in the ground. If you want to plant shrubs that you hope grow into like privacy shrubs for your neighbors or whatever the case may be, by the time spring and summer and pool season's here, this is the time to get them in the ground. So get by Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Always encourage you as well to follow them on Facebook, because whenever they get a new shipment of something like the gallon of Super Tunia Petunias, they're there right now at Clegg's Nursery.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Little dust, just look at her face. She ain't a fooling me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
All right, we are rolling along here. A couple segments to go on a Tuesday edition of AFR. Tomorrow, I am actually going to be in Houston. The Coach of the Year Award is going to be presented and be doing AFR from Houston, and I am fired up. I got the list already of our confirmed guests for the show. It is here we go. This is what we already have confirmed. It's for the Bear Bryant Awards in Houston on Wednesday. Philip Fulmer, Tony Elliott from Virginia, Coach McGuire from Texas Tech, Chesney from James Madison, Mike Elko, Clark Lee. There's a chance we're going to have Signetti, Lanning, and Cristobal. Like, they're all on the list, but the times are TBD. The others, we've already got locked-in times already. So I'm pretty fired up about this. Like, we're just going to have a whole bunch of college football coaches on AFR tomorrow from Houston for the Bear Bryant Award. So I'll be getting on the road bright and early tomorrow to get to Houston. We'll do the show there in Houston tomorrow and then be back in studio on Thursday. So really excited about that. Make sure you're here with us. And hopefully by the time we hit the air tomorrow, we have some finality on Jordan Seaton and Prince Uman Mellen. If you're just joining us wondering for an update on those, unfortunately not much to share so far throughout the day. What I can tell you is that when we went on air today, Jordan Seaton was still in Baton Rouge. So he came to Baton Rouge on Sunday after leaving Miami. He has canceled his trip to Oregon. And as it was explained to me with several conversations today, Jordan Seaton wants to be at LSU. LSU wants Jordan Seaton. There's probably some financial hurdles that had to be cleared to work out the contract a day ago. And I did actually, during the top of the hour break earlier today at 4 o'clock, I had a brief phone call with Governor Landry, who I reached out to both the governor and his communications people earlier today because we all saw the video or the photo of Lane Kiffin's nephew with the governor at the mansion, and then the Instagram story that Jordan Seaton posted clearly leaving the governor's mansion. He was right in front of the Pentagon barracks. So you could sort of put two and two together there. And the governor did confirm that Seaton and his uncle were there at the governor's mansion yesterday, and that he was sort of helping Lane Kiffin, and they were trying to close Jordan Seaton. So you got the governor on your side, pulling strings as well to try to land the number one offensive tackle prospect. So, and I'll say it again, if they land the plane here with Jordan Seaton, the governor is going to deserve an assist. And one of the things he told me in the brief conversation we had, and I only had 3 or 4 minutes in the top of the hour, but one of the things he told me is, on the record, look, if there's a way that I can help LSU football with recruiting or coach or whatever, he's going to do it. I think there's a very real understanding. No, y'all know how I felt about the comments he made about Scott Woodward, that whole thing. I know people have brought up Omar the Tiger. Whatever. Criticize where warranted, but credit where it's due. And if they land Jordan Seaton, the governor is going to deserve an assist in this situation. So we'll continue to see how that all plays out. But, one of the things I'll keep going back to is, as I've sort of battled around in my head, the idea of LSU bringing in Jordan Seaton, this is going to be a very, very expensive get. If/when they land him, and I think they will. Shay was with us earlier. He's got a crystal ball prediction. And what I was told at the time we started the show was that it had been agreed to. It's just some of the contractual language and some other things that they're working through to get finished with Seaton. Lane Kiffin earlier today had the blindside tweet, like hashtag blindside day. I mean, sort of alluding to the fact that this is the day that they're going to land Jordan Seaton. And I was thinking about, does it actually make sense to spend the money? The reports are north of $3 million, maybe approaching $4 million for Jordan Seaton. And I guess the way that I sort of pivoted the conversation in my brain was like, can you afford not to? Because what I mean is the single biggest investment that they have made in this roster is Sam Leavitt. I have no problem saying the number for Sam Leavitt is north of $5 million. Chambliss was going to cost them high threes. That was before Ole Miss made the playoff and beat Georgia. Chambliss was coming, and the handshake agreed upon verbal deal was like $3.85. You had to go north of $5 million for Sam Leavitt. I think you paid a tax after you took your eye off the ball and started focusing on DeMond Williams. But all that to say, you spent more on quarterback than you thought you did. But if LSU is going to be a playoff team in 2026, Sam Leavitt is going to be the one that takes them there. Well, can you afford not to protect Sam Leavitt? Because the LSU offensive line without Jordan Seaton still looks really good. I mean, Braylon Moore is back. You're optimistic about Weston Davis. The staff is. There's a reason they kept him. They think they can develop him in this system and grow him. You added Liu Ba, who's a 2-year starter in the Big Ten at Maryland at right guard. You've added Devin Harper, and you added Jordan Tompkins from Baylor, who played 10 games at left tackle this year. You've got a former 5-star, who is waiting his turn at LSU. You've got options, but it just looks – Solomon Thomas, who I'm referring to, forgive me. It looks dramatically different if you add Jordan Seaton, because now you have your quote-unquote franchise left tackle and your center. The two most important positions on the offensive line will be your two best linemen. And then Liu Ba, again, who's a 2-year starter in the Big Ten at right guard. And so that leaves Weston Davis at right tackle and then competition at left guard, and maybe someone beats out Weston Davis. Maybe it's any one of the guys I just mentioned. Maybe Jordan Tompkins, who played 10 games this year at Baylor with 5 starts, becomes your left guard. Or maybe one of the small school guys that we've talked about before, and Jaquan Sprinkle or Jacoby Jones, who are multi-year starters, but at the FCS and JUCO level are ready to take that step, like Damian Lewis was in 2019 when he came in and became a dude for you. I just rattled off 5-6 names vying for one spot, and everywhere else is solidified. It just changes the dynamic totally. And if you've made that much of an investment into Sam Leavitt, and all of the investment it's almost like if it's $3-4 million that you'd be spending on Jordan Seaton, it's almost like that's an insurance policy for the rest of the money you've spent on this roster. Because if Sam Leavitt goes down, then all the other money you spent is irrelevant, because you're not. Look at the Denver Broncos. with Bo Nix. Bo Nix's injury, now all of a sudden, they're going to host the AFC Championship game, and they're a giant underdog because they lost their quarterback. You're almost making the investment into Jordan Seaton as an insurance policy on the rest of the money you've spent on this roster. For what it's worth, of course, the championship game happened last evening, so the odds makers immediately put out way too early odds for next year. Texas, the betting favorite at 6-1, followed by Ohio State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia, Oregon, and then your Fighting Tigers of LSU at 11-1. Ahead of Bama and Texas Tech are at 14-1, Miami at 16-8, Miami and A&M at 16-1, Michigan, Southern Cal, both at 33-1. So further down the list, Florida, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Tennessee, way down the list there. But again, LSU with the 7th best odds to not just to make the playoff, to win the national championship behind Texas, Ohio State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia, Oregon, then LSU. And as far as Sam Levitt, again, it's not just PFA plucked from the air. You look at the Heisman Trophy odds, the way too early odds for next year. Arch, C.J. Carr for Notre Dame, Dante Moore returning to Oregon, then Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin from Ohio State, Josh Hoover, who is leaving TCU to go be the quarterback at Indiana, Gunnar Stockton, Sam Levitt. So it's one thing for all of us to say it here in Baton Rouge. It's another when you have independent third-party odds makers telling you, yeah, what Lane Kiffin's brought in there is really good, and they should be a really good team, and the expectation should be there year one for the LSU Tigers under Lane Kiffin. All right, it's after further review. It's been a really good show. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand is presented by Breck Golf. You can book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. We had Shay Dixon in hour one talking some recruiting. We did have Mason Dosset was with us, the transfer from Baylor. Mike Triplet was here. Aaron Murray was here. Again, you catch everything on demand. We are brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. You want to ditch the contacts, the glasses forever. You want to get rid of those readers, no worries. You can do it. The Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. Dr. Blake does that every single day. I was looking at a video today on their social media, and it was basically their purpose. And it was showing one of their patients showing up after having a refractive procedure and looking at a clock across the room and being able to see with perfect vision for the first time. And that's something I experienced when I had LASIK with Dr. Blake. And you sit up on the table after a lifetime of having to squint or pop contacts into your eyes or wear glasses, and to just be able to see is a remarkable thing. And they give that gift to people every single day, and you could be next. It's the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. We're at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank today, our Guarantee Corp Day of Service, from bright and early at 7 a.m. before they open till now approaching 6 p.m. after they have closed and everyone is long since gone. It's been our pleasure to have this opportunity to give back here to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Liz Feifer, the Food Bank president and CEO, was with us earlier and said, look, there's really three ways people give. Their time, their money, and food. So if you want to volunteer your time, if you'd like to make a donation, or if you'd like to donate food, you could do so. brfoodbank.org, brfoodbank.org. Final break, y'all. We'll come back and we'll wrap up. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Have you done it yet? Have you gone and checked out DuplessisBuilders.net? DuplessisBuilders.net. Awesome website. I love telling you about it. If you're thinking of putting in a pool, you need to know Duplessis Builders. Look, Derek and his team, they're awesome. Voted just this past year by Pool and Spa Magazine a top 50 pool builder in America. It's because of their customer service, their commitment to excellent work. I've told you so many times, 10-year workmanship warranty. They stand by their work. The industry standard is 1 year. At Duplessis, they offer a 10-year workmanship warranty. It's amazing, stunning when you think about it. But go to the website, DuplessisBuilders.net. Look, they can do any type of custom pool you want, as grand and palatial as you'd like. But they also have 11 different pool designs where you can go right now, starting at $48,000, and pick out your features. It's all there at the website. Go fiddle around on the website. You'll enjoy it. It's DuplessisBuilders.net.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, man? I'm over here at Roca Pizzeria. My buddy Miguel.
Love
you
that.
know, having a little happy hour pizza, glass of wine. So nice. Other places been hopping over here. So we're doing good. We're right down the street of Doe's today. Going to Fin Bomb, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen. It's ramen season, you know.
Hey.
So making a good round of
Man,
it.
a
So Charlie
hot-
behaving, all good.
hot
Max is acting
bowl
up
of
a little
ramen.
bit, but you know.
Yeah. Hot bowl of ramen on a cold day is tough to beat. That's a really good option. And Roca, I know we talked about a lot. Roca, if you've never been to Roca in Mid-City, it really is an awesome, craft pizza place. You got to go check out Roca. They do an awesome job there. So cool vibe and everything.
I would recommend reservations.
Okay.
Not required, would recommend it. So It's been two different cases where I came over where it was a wait. So I would just a little tip.
So
it's your first winner of the night, okay?
I've only gone to Roca for lunch. So I've never had
I've
never had to wait for a table at lunch. So but dinner, that's good good advice. Okay.
Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
Sunday lunch after church for sure.
Oh, that's
Get a
true.
res.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So.
Okay. Congrats. Winner last night with Miami covering the 8.5 or 7.5, whichever you had. What are we looking at tonight?
All right, let's start off with, remember that conversation I was in carpool line 10 years ago, and I was telling you that LSU was expected to hire Willie Wade with the thing, and the athletic director called our staff and said, that's wrong. Well, 6 hours later, ESPN reported it. But anyway, we go to Clemson, South Carolina. One of the parts for Clemson staying with their coach and not offering Will Wade with a Clemson degree was because Brownell, that was in his 5th year. He just missed the tournament, but they decided to stay with him. And, man, he's had a great run since. He is the dean of ACC coaches now at 15 years. They're at home. Willie Wade in his first year. They're talented. They can be good. They have flashes where they really light it up. They can score sometimes, but they're highly inconsistent right now. Clemson's more consistent. They would win the majority of the games at a neutral. They're at home with a 2.5-point spread. I'm going to take the Clemson Tigers against Willie Wade's team tonight in NC State at home. That game tips at 6 o'clock. Let's go to the
Oklahoma.
SEC. Oklahoma going to Columbia, South Carolina. On a little bit of a losing streak. Lost at A&M. They got drilled at home this week as well by Florida. Now they come back and they are going to go to South Carolina. I think they got to get right. They're on the bubble. They're probably a tournament team. Porter Moser, a hot seat again. So I just like this spot for them to get back on the right side, minus the 2.5 at Columbia in South Carolina.
1 minute
Georgia,
remaining.
the number one scoring team in the country. I'll go quickly. Number one scoring team in the country out of 365 teams. Goes on the road here. They have a rotation of 11. 5 guys play 20 minutes. 6 guys play 10 minutes. Take the plus 1.5 at Missouri. My favorite bet of the night is Ole Miss, plus 3.5 at home. We've been on them. They've turned the corner. They're playing much better as of late. Come back home after a 2-game road winning streak in the conference. So take the Rebels in the money line as well at plus 145.
Okay.
And then SMU on the road. They lost a tough one at home on Saturday to Virginia. Now they travel to Winston-Salem, take on Wake Forest. They're just much better. Take the ponies. So we've got Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia, Ole Miss. That's my favorite pick, and I'll put the money line on that in SMU.
Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, Jimmy Rand's right if it gets caught. Reminds you about First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, and something that Ben and Tim and the whole crew over at First South Farm Credit have drilled into my head over the years we've been fortunate enough to be partnered and endorse them, is that this is their busy time of year. Primarily because you're coming off a hunting season and people are sharing a lease and they realize, I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of hunting on somebody else's land. I'm tired of feeling awkward. Should I shoot the big buck? Should I save it for them because they own the land? Whatever. And people are like, I'm not doing that anymore. I want to own my own land. Sound familiar? If that's you, it is time to call First South Farm Credit. Start by going to FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.